I can't tell you how happy I am every year when I look out and I see the off-Broadway community gathered here. This is the sweetest thing.
I met Anne when I was directing a play starring Jerry and their daughter, Amy. And I was intimidated. I went up to her. She came to see the play, and I went up to her and said, "Hello, Anne, I'm David Saint." And she said, "Cut the 2 intermissions. No play needs 3 acts. Hi, I'm Anne."
She was real, and she was irreverent. She had a great heart. And I mean, there was no bunny like Anne's bunny in House of Blue Leaves, if any of you saw it.
Off-Broadway community was always there for her, and she was always a part of it. And she looms very large in both our lives as just an incredible talent and mother. And I know I speak for our dad, Jerry, who couldn't be here. He's on a J date. He's moving on.
I just want to say I'm very confused now because I thought my parents were Ann Mira and Jerry Stiller. Anyway, the very, this, I want to thank the Off-Broadway Alliance, and also Sardi's is very charged for us too, because our parents actually were here on their wedding night. Maureen Stapleton got them so drunk that they don't remember it. They never remembered their wedding nights. But the amazing thing was, I still remember gestures, the gestures that my mom did. And Dad's performance with Zero Mostel when they turned into Ranasarai.
One time I had to say something to discipline Anne, and I'm usually pretty easygoing. And she was alone in the theater, and I said it to her, and her mouth started to quiver, and she walked away, and I thought, uh-oh. And then Eli came down the aisle, and he said, "David the Saint." And I said, "Eli, I wasn't just a saint. I just yelled at your wife." And without a beat, Eli looked up at me with those eyes and held his hands like this and said, "What'd you say?"
This is not faux theatrical modesty. I really had nothing to do with this, other than saying yes. The person who deserves this award is the person who brought this project to me, who tirelessly worked at it for 2 years to get it cast, and who made it into, I think, truly one of the most magnificent incarnations of the robber bridegroom there could ever be. So I would like to have him, if you don't mind, accept the award because he deserves it. Alex Tibbers.
Thank you so much. We had the greatest time doing this. The actors, like Lance Roberts here, were the most fun to work with. It's so wonderful to be a part of Off-Broadway. Thank you so much for this.
The most interesting characters in the most beautiful plays, one after another. I am truly blessed.
Lin-Manuel Miranda, who knows a thing or two about revolutionary forces, tweeted recently this: Liz Swados was using hip-hop on Broadway in 1978 ahead of, all caps, everybody. And he called her a colossus, singular and unequaled.
Elizabeth is probably doing a lot of rock and roll right now with David Bowie and Ellen Stewart and all the people that have passed this year, unfortunately.
I am going to speak today on behalf of myself and also Eric Tucker, who is the director of this piece, as well as the artistic director and fearless leader of our company. I want to thank Les Dickert, our lighting designer, John McDermott, our set designer, Angela Huff, our costume designer, Alexandra Beller, our fantastic choreographer. This is Kate Hamill, who wrote the adaptation, which is brilliant, and who also plays my sister Marianne.
School for Scandal was really made possible by the person standing beside me and that wonderful cast. Thank you, Mark Vitor.
Thank you for this improbable and delightful end to a rather improbable season of Red Bull Plays. This was something that we did kind of on a dare, and I have to say I'm shocked that I'm here. I will say that I wouldn't be here if it hadn't been for the extraordinary cast that I was able to sucker into doing this.
So I want to say thank you to Jen and Gabby and Nate and the extraordinary cast. They were incredible. I'm sorry you can't see it, but hopefully it will be playing across the country. And we're thrilled to be here. Thank you so much.
I had the bright idea to ask Sarah Gronzik from Philadelphia Theater to perhaps join me on this. And without Catherine Adler and Jamie DeRoy, who are with us, And also on behalf of Ike Holter and Kip Fagan, our director, and our entire company, amazing design team, I wanted to thank you guys in the Off-Broadway Alliance and Sarah Garanzik.
Philadelphia is that somewhat smaller city about 90 miles south of here. And we're a pretty good theater town, and we do a lot of new work. It's a real hub for new work, and Philadelphia Theater Company is chief among them. We love doing exit strategy. We love collaborating with Primary Stages. They're tremendous collaborators. We love the work of Ike Holter, and it is a true honor for me to be here tonight to represent the city of Philadelphia and Philadelphia Theater Company. Thanks so much.
As I said before, I've been incredibly lucky with wonderful colleagues at TDF all along the way. I've loved working with the producers, managers, and press agents of Off-Broadway. And believe me, not all the colorful characters are on the stage. We'll continue to help in any way we can. So thank you for thinking of us and being such a good friend.
The first place that Playwrights Horizon set up residence was a massage parlor. And then we got better and moved into what was the Burlesque House. Kathleen Chalfant was at my side at once. And shortly after our arrival, a couple of youngsters, Andre Bishop and Philip Himberg, came along and linked arms with us. I was always supported by amazing theater folk who believed we could do anything, and somehow we did a lot. I'm proud of it all, and I'm happy to be thought of as a legend. Thank you so much for this honor. I'm very grateful. Bob Morris.
I am proud to hand this award to my great uncle Merle, who has had an incredible career fighting for off-Broadway, Broadway, fighting for the rights of individuals, and fighting for all his friends through the blacklist and other times in America. He is a loyal, great man. If you needed someone on your side in a fight, it's best to call Merle.
It started oddly enough and remarkably enough and romantically enough and adventurously enough in 1948. And I think, as far as I know, I'm the only one left who was there. I don't know if anybody else was here, so I'd like to meet them. But we eventually wound up in 1949 as a theater that I think it bore the name Off-Broadway for the very first time. It was called Off-Broadway, Inc. And again, the core was Kim Stanley, Gene Sachs, B. Arthur, Michael Gazzo, Anthony Franciosa, to name a few.
And so I believe that the exchange that takes place in live theater is one of the most powerful acts that we are capable of. And I can't wait to make more of it. And I'm so insanely grateful that I got to be a part of this process. It has completely changed my life. Thanks to Ars Nova and Soho Repertory Theater, and all the other institutions that had faith in us and literally made our dreams come true.
And we would like to thank our parents, none of whom are artists or theater makers. They're nurses and accountants and labor union activists and small business owners and teachers. They do not understand what we do or why we do it.
A musical is such an incredible form that is deeply American and so powerful and gives us this possibility of confronting the darkest, most confusing, most emotional and shadowy parts of humanity. And it's such an exciting time to be making musicals and rethinking and continually experimenting with what that is. And I just really appreciate being part of this community, which is where a lot of that happens.